going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You know who it is by now.
Jimothy.
Now, ladies and gents, I thought I'd bring to you my top 5 rogue decks to look out for post Konami Forbidden and Limited list. Yes, this is a top 5 of my most compiled rogue decks, ladies and gents. Now, I've tried to be as unbiased as possible, but again, this is my opinion. If you disagree with anything, you know what to do. Get in that comment section below and let me know. So, starting off at number 5, one of my top 5 rogue decks has to be Earth Machines. Now, Konami did us a favor by reprinting a lot of the Infinite Track stuff in the 2020 Megatins, which meant that it was more highly accessible. And with the release of Legendary Duelist Season 2 and the accessibility of some of the train package, this deck is just off the charts. It's actually starting to pick up a lot of traction now as a rogue option. Being able to just extend way past your opponents, can play through Nibiru, can play through various hand traps. It's got loads of recursion, it's very consistent, it's just absolutely crazy. Definitely a deck that you should look out for going forward post the ban list. Now, coming in at number 4, I have gone with Salamander Great. Now, this is kind of with a little bit of a caveat. If Konami decide to unban Salamander Great Mirage Stalio, then definitely it's going to be a deck that is worth a rogue contender. I'm not too sure whether or not they are going to do that, because Salamander Great has had its time in the spotlight at the moment. Well, had its time in the spotlight previously, and I'm not sure if that Konami want to actually push Salamander Great back to the forefront of competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! However, if they do unban Mirage Stalio, expect to see this deck a lot more than you are already seeing it. It was very cheap, very highly accessible. The cards are inexpensive, only 1 or 2 extra deck staple cards that are expensive, and there are also alternatives to that, i.e. Borrow Sword Dragon instead of Access Code Talker. So there are options, but definitely a deck to watch out for. We all know what Salad does. The recursiveness of this deck is just absolutely crazy, and it's just definitely something to just keep in mind. So I'm giving Salamander Great my number 4 spot. Now, number 3, I have gone with ABCs. Now, ABCs, ladies and gents, they don't do anything too unfair. They typically end on potentially 2-3 negates. However, just the recursiveness of their engine and being able to tag back out into their ships, put bodies on board, and then being able to just use those bodies to either link climb, disrupt your opponent's plays, even link off with your opponent's monsters with the closed goddess of the underworld, ladies and gents, definitely something to be wary of. And there's actually a few trap variants that are running around at the moment, which definitely play a lot in the meta game, because trap cards have, specifically in this since the previous ban list, trap cards have been a bit more prevalent and have a bit more impact on the game, and ABCs are one deck that's definitely able to take advantage of that. So definitely something that you should be aware of. Now, coming in number 2, ladies and gents, this is a new deck out of Blazing Vortex, which is Security Force. Now, I really like the mechanic and the idea behind the deck. I like the lore, but more importantly, the deck is somewhat a little bit of a rogue contender with some of the way that the deck functions, by obviously manipulating columns and having various effects depending on what monsters in what column and when your opponent's monsters are. It's definitely something to be wary of. It plays similar to Mech Knight, but not so similar in the sense that it does focus on columns, but the way that the cards interact with your opponent are completely different, especially S-Force Gravitino. Being able to banish any card that leaves the field, not sent to the graveyard, not returned to the deck, just leaves the field, is something that is very powerful and cannot be ignored. So S-Force, definitely something that you should look out for. Finally, coming to my number 1 spot, and before I do, I wanted to give some honorable mentions. Now, obviously, we have stuff in the meta game like Subterra Guru Control, we have Paleozoics, we have various rogue decks running around, but these have been somewhat evident for the past few formats now and have always been there. Zombies is another one that comes to mind, but definitely decks that just kind of like are already known. I'm going for a few more rogue options that some players may not know about, and my first and final one I'm going with is, wait for it, Springans. Okay, now it's a bit of a wild punt out there, but Springans are a definitely an interesting deck. The mechanic of being able to special summon one of your XYZ monsters straight from the extra deck and then attach materials from either hand or grave. Those materials do not get banished, by the way, and just blow up your nuke your opponent's field time and time again. Cannot be something that can be ignored, basically. And with more support down the line, it could definitely be a viable strategy. Also, from what I've seen of the deck, which I am kind of tinkering with, you don't necessarily need a normal summon, so you could slot in an additional engine, i.e. the Dogmatica engine, for example. You could even potentially put a invoked engine in there. It's something that's pretty flexible, especially with the field spell Great Seagull Golgonda, being able to just special summon your XYZ monster, pop the board. That XYZ monster then bounces away to the banish zone on your opponent's turn into the end phase. Just means that you can do so many various things with your normal summon to be able to go off into a secondary engine. It's just something that I feel like it could potentially pick up steam with the right support. But that is it, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree with any of my choices? Definitely let me know in the comment section below. And as always, if you did enjoy this content, you know what to do by now. Hit that like button, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And I will definitely see you guys in the next video. Hope you enjoyed. Peace.